There we go, Melanie. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Paul, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi everybody, my name is Paul Sobbard from Ashfield District Council, and I lead on business support for all of Ashfield, helping startup businesses and businesses who are looking to grow or come to the area.
Thank you, Paul. Wayne, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Hi there, good afternoon. My name is Wayne. I am from the British Army Youth Engagement Team, and we work within the whole of the East Midlands providing enrichment activities and workshops.
Melanie.
Yes, hello everybody. I'm the Economic Growth Service Manager at Ashfield District Council, so covering with Paul business support, education and skills, and also our local plan.
Thank you very much. Peter?
I had to unmute. Yeah, I'm Pete Edwards. I'm the Chair for the Health and Wellbeing Network in Ashfield, and also the Be Happy, Be Healthy Chair for the Management Group, and I sit on the Discover Ashfield Board as the Team Lead for Health and Wellbeing, and I'm also a local Chair of Governors for Sutton Community Academy, and I've just joined the board at St Mary Magdalene Primary Academy as well.
Very busy man, Peter.
Yes,
very
just a bit.
Laura, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Hiya, I'm Laura Burrows. Oh, sorry, that's with more of us, isn't there?
Sorry, we'll go with Laura Burrows, if that's okay.
Go on then. Yeah, that's fine. I'm Laura. I am a senior practitioner with the youth service in Nottinghamshire, and part of my role is I commission projects from outside. So at the minute we're doing a bit about vaccinations with Lucy. I also lead on a project around vaping within schools, and C-Card, which is a sexual health service for young people.
Yeah. Thank you. Joey, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm the Community Engagement and Learning Lead at ATTFE College. I do wear a heck of a lot of other caps, but I won't go through all of those.
Okay, thank you. Joanna Richardson.
Hello, hi. Yeah, so I'm the lead for family weight management at Your Health Not. So I'm kind of in charge of everything to do with weight kind of loss and anything physical activity as well for children in Nottinghamshire, with a particular focus in Ashfield at the moment.
Thank you. Emma Walker.
Hi all, my name's Emma Walker. I work at DANCOP, which is the UniConnect partnership covering Derbyshire and Nottinghamshire. So we're working schools across both counties and with a variety of partners.
Thank you. And you, Laura?
Me this time, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm Laura Folds. I'm one of the assistant principals at Sutton Community Academy. I lead on careers there.
And thank you for joining us from what looks like your car.
Yes, that is correct. I am. That is where I am. I didn't quite get back to where I was going, so I thought I'd stop and just join, and then I'll get to where I'm going in a minute. So yeah.
It's fine. We've all done it, Laura. We've all tried to get somewhere in time. But thank you very much for joining us. I do appreciate it. Libby, can you introduce yourself? Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name's Libby Mackenzie. I'm a Family Hub Network Manager based in Coatby in Ashfield, and I lead on all things early years for Nottinghamshire County Council.
Thank you very much. And Ian?
Afternoon everybody, I'm Head of UK Student Recruitment at NTU. Only just joined, well, in January, having previously done 20 plus years as Deputy Headship in secondary schools all over the UK, so felt it might be best for me to attend these meetings.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Thank you. And Matt?
Hi everyone. Yeah, I'm the PD and Inclusion Lead at Diverse Academies Trust. Under that remit, predominantly is careers that fits with this group. Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much. Helen?
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Helen, obviously, because you just introduced me. I am the Operational Hub Lead at MCA Careers Hub, formerly D2 N2 Careers Hub. So we connect schools with employers and work with schools and colleges in the whole region to ensure that they've got an impactful and relevant careers programme.
Thank you very much. And Andrew?
I'm Andrew. I'm a member of the Tebersall, Stanton Hill and Skegby Neighbourhood Forum. We're currently involved working with Ashfield District Council on a regeneration or an investment plan for Stanton Hill, and I'm a STEM ambassador.
Sarah Vaughan.
I'm Sarah Vaughan, one of the Wellbeing Officers at Ashfield District Council. My focus is around Kirkby, the Coxmore Estate, and children and young people and families.
Thank you. And Michaela?
Hi, I'm Michaela Gregory, and I'm the careers lead at Bracken Hill School, which is a 4 to 18 special school in Kirkby.
Thanks very much. Oh, we've just had a new someone else turn up. Is that Michael? Michael, you just joined us. You're just doing intros. You'd like to yourself? Can you hear me? Right,
hello there. Apologies, I'm late.
Fine. Just in time. Michael, we've just done introductions. But do you want to introduce yourself quickly?
Of course. Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you all. My name's Michael Bingwar from Your Health Knots. I'm the regional manager that oversees the integrated wellbeing service, as well as the central point of access for Tier 2 Plus and Tier 3 weight management for children and young people.
Thank you, Michael. It seems to be taking longer every time we do this when we come to meetings, which is actually a sort of brilliant. We've got so many people attending. Lots of information, so thank you for all coming. So we'll move on to we'll finish our first agenda item. Basically, we've got matters from the last meeting and the notes from the last meeting, the minutes. I'll have a look through the minutes. I'm happy that they are a true record of the minutes. Anyone else to say they're a true record and second it before we move on? Anyone time to look at any actions we need to take for the minutes?
I agree that they are the same as a true record.
Thank you. And obviously, anyone else want to second that just quickly? Yeah. No one. All right,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you. Someone spoke up then.
I can second that, Ross. Sorry.
You'll second that. Thank you, Matt. I just want to say the last meeting, obviously we met in person, and not all of you were there, but well, a lot of people there. It was really lovely to meet so many of you in person. A lot of you I've spoken to on the phone or via email or on these meetings. It is something I think we need to replicate, and I know Nathan's keen to do it again next year. And later on, we'll talk about dates for diaries for next year. But it was really nice in such a fantastic location. So thank you for the people that came. If you haven't been to Sherwood Observatory yet, get yourself down to Sherwood Observatory. Right, we're going to start with agenda item 2. So we're going to look at career activity programme updates. So 2.1 is British Army opportunities. And Wayne, would you like to talk us through them, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So our team is a small team, but we're all Nottingham-based soldiers at Chedwin Barracks, and we're all actually from Nottingham. Myself personally, I'm from Ashfield. I live just outside of Hucknall. The teams delivers everything that we deliver is free of charge. We work mainly with secondary schools, but we do, if we have what we call white space, go into year 6 primary for a bit of enrichment activities and a bit of fun. The idea behind our stuff that we will deliver is we come in for a day or half a day where we give approximately 40 to 50 minutes presentation on career availabilities and apprenticeships within the British Army, so they can have that different mindset, and a lot of myth busting about only 27% of the army is actually a combat role, the rest of it is support arms. And then once we've done a presentation and a Q&A session with the students or year group that we're working with, we then tend to take a class at a time for whatever fits for the class size. So basically normally it's an hour per lesson, and we do a little round robin of STEM activities to get them thinking, and depending on the year group, depends on what type of activity we deliver. It can be practical based and theory based. For example, if they are age 13 plus, so we're looking into the year 9 and above now, we offer forensic challenges, science, enigma code, where they will basically do a set of puzzles, which is electrical, communication, engineering, geography, music and mathematics, where they need to have a small group within the class of 30. They do each one of those stages so they don't miss out on anything, and what that will do is lead to the ultimate code cracking of what they need to find on a world map. Again, it's a practical and theoretical type thing that we do, but other things we have as well are the STEM bags, where it's like for the old and bold amongst us, the old style Meccano, where we get them to build communication towers, we get them to build cars that we then use rubber bands as kinetic energy to get them to have races. We've also got Sudoku boards where we get them learning a bit of maths there, and they have a bit of fun going out getting the Sudoku boards. Sometimes we place up a bit of an obstacle course for them as well, so we can involve a bit of physical education. And the idea is with us being an engagement team rather than a recruitment team, is there's no data sheets we're fixing. We're just coming in, they're getting to work alongside personnel from the army, from their own town and city, and seeing that there's opportunities out there for them, and they might walk away with a different mindset, hopefully a positive mindset of what the army do and what they could potentially do in the army if they chose it as a career path. Would you like to know anything else?
Wayne, that sounds really good. Has anybody got any, I've got a question for Wayne, but I'll see if anyone else has got. Anybody got any questions for Wayne? Michaela, would you like to? You've got your hand up, Michaela. Michaela, you're muted. Michaela, that you can hear me, you're muted.
Sorry. I was wondering if there's. I was wondering if there's a minimum entry requirement that at a minimum level that students have to work on or at before we can enter them.
No, absolutely not. We're obviously we go down the equal opportunity restrictions, and we've worked also. It's not our main target audience, but we have gone into AP schools, and we do, myself included, I'm SEN trained. I work a lot with SENCO personnel, so we fit the activities to our audience. We've been into sixth form with doing A levels, where clearly we set more academical challenges for those students, and we've been into year 7 schools where it's just about engaging with them and letting them have fun, but at the same time, without realizing it, they've actually walked away and learned something.
Sounds really good. Wayne, is there a my question is there a time scale for this? Is there a certain time of year you do this, or is it certain weeks or months you do this?
No, we do this all year round. Even weekends we go into community groups and stuff like that. Don't worry, we do get our fair share of time off. The only caveat is, I would say, and I say this to a lot of the schools I do work with, is give us a bit of warning and a number of dates rather than just going, can you come in on Tuesday next week? Because we, like I said, the team is actually East Midlands based, but the ones that work with me, we work the whole of Nottinghamshire, and there is a lot of schools and colleges within Nottinghamshire, as you can imagine. We're already now taking bookings for October and November.
Brilliant. Brilliant. I think looking forward, that's something we need to think about. A lot of schools now are now thinking that far ahead. That's great.
Yeah, if any of you are on this, one thing I did want to point out, and the main reason I came on this, is I don't know why or what the wall is, but being from Ashfield, I find it very hard to get into Ashfield schools, and I find it also quite difficult getting up into the schools within Mansfield. But city centre Nottingham, and certainly South Nottingham, we're practically there every day, which is a shame because I'm from this area. It'd be nice to see ours. We work with Ashfield District Scout groups. We work with the Nottingham Police Cadets up at West Notts College and at the Burnt Stump. But any other locations, there just seems to be a zero barrier where I don't know if it's the fact that we're the army, so some people do get a bit thingy, but like I said, we are definitely not a recruitment team. We have nothing to do with recruitment group. We're just there to pass on that education piece and hopefully give a positive input of what your army does.
Well, as career advisors, we're impartial. I mean, any good school's impartial to careers, and it's not something I would think we would cover. I think Matt's really keen. Matt's just said, yeah, so I'd be really keen as well in our school, Ashfield. So is there an email, if you want to share an email address or anything, that'd be great. Andrew, have you got a question?
Well, I've got an observation because I've been a STEM ambassador for about 7 years. I think I do fairly similar things to the ones you've been describing. And I get a lot of, every couple of weeks, I read the request list from the STEM ambassadors coordinators. There are lots of requests from Sheffield, Nottingham, Derby, Derbyshire, some parts of Nottinghamshire, but I look very carefully for the ones in Ashfield because they're close by where I am, and I get practically none. In fact, I think I can only think of one. So I don't think it's to do with the army. I think it's something else.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe it's something that we.
Yeah, the whole team, we have to do the STEM ambassador course. We do a quite in-depth course for our soldiers to make sure we're getting the right individuals coming into the education space. So we do our own in-house training, followed by getting the STEM ambassador group in to do some bespoke training with us and getting our, we have our DBS through them. We have our DBS through the military. Personally, I left for a short period and I was a teacher at West Notts as well, so I've got more DBSs than I can imagine, and obviously I've got a PGC in education. But Ashfield is my stumbling block currently, which, like I said, is a bit of a shame.
Well, hopefully this meeting can reverse that a little bit.
Brilliant.
So when that comes in, hopefully that will, and obviously we'll try and share that. Just so you know that I'm part of a trust, and we've got a few Ashfield schools in the trust, so I'll definitely put your details forward and hopefully try and get you into our school. But Helen, have you got a question for Wayne as well?
Well, it's just really another kind of comment, observation, and just to let both of you know that through the Careers Hub, we have shared the Army Engagement Team information and the STEM Ambassador information across the whole of the network via our Careers Leader newsletters. I'm very happy to give it another push, and equally, if there's specific information that you want me to share via email with the Ashfield and Mansfield schools that you've mentioned, drop me an email and we can get it out direct through our team.
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, I've just put my email address into the chat now, so if anyone wants to take it, they're more than welcome. Like I said, if you want to send us emails, and hopefully we can accommodate those that need accommodating. Like I said, we are a busy team and a small team, but we certainly, we make it work for us as well. Clearly, like Matt, if there's a job in Ashfield to save me driving to a job in Newark, clearly we prioritize on who wants us and what's more of a target audience. So for example, 10 students versus 100 students, clearly the 100 students is going to win because we're getting a better output and a better reach, but that doesn't mean to say that those 10 students will be forgot about. We'll just make a different arrangement on a different date.
Thank you, Wayne. Thank you. If we can make sure Wayne's emails in the minutes as well, that'll be fantastic, and then people can pick it up from there. But I've just noticed you put it in the chat as well. Thank you, Wayne. Any more questions for Wayne before we move on to the next section? Amazing, Wayne. Hopefully we can rectify that. You've been working with some Ashfield schools through this meeting. That'll be fantastic.
Brilliant. Thank you.
As a teacher, someone who works in careers, there's so many opportunities out there, and it's just hearing someone with some passion in these meetings saying this is what we do and talking through it rather than just an email does make a bit of a difference, I think. And I think that helps me get my idea around what people want to do. We'll go for we're on 2.2 now, so EMCCA updates from Helen. Is that okay, Helen?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I have got a PowerPoint mainly so that I don't forget what to say. So I'm just going to share my PowerPoint if that's okay. I'm going to go through 3 key things. Firstly, Nathan asked me specifically to talk around the MCA Youth Committee that's being set up. I'm then going to go very quickly through a project that we've got upcoming. And then I'm going to end with a bit of information around modern work experience. So I'll whiz through as quickly as I can. So she says, trying to move on to the next slide. The MCA Youth Committee, we have a new project officer on board, Jay Hodgson. Unfortunately, we've timed this meeting perfectly and she's on annual leave at the moment. So I'm kind of speaking on her behalf today. But as I say, Nathan did reach out to me and asked me specifically to talk around this youth committee because MCA are very, very keen to hear from young people in this region, across the entire region. But at the moment, we don't currently have any representation from Ashfield. And the idea around, as it says on the slide here, is we want to connect and strengthen all of the youth engagement groups in the region. And that might not just be schools. I've realised that we've got people on the call now that are probably connected to other youth groups as well, who may be interested. And it's around getting young people aware of what's going on in the MCA region, but also properly getting them involved in services and projects. If I just flip to the next slide, the roles and the activities around the youth committee is around governance and advisory. So working directly with the mayor and key leaders to ensure that youth priorities shape what this region looks like. But most importantly, it's youth-led projects. So you might be, the young people may directly be connected with some of the MCA teams, to discuss what transport's like in the region for young people, what IT and website development might look like, skills in particular, employer engagement, recruitment, and also work experience. So we want the voice of young people to shape what those types of things look like, and that's not an exhaustive list. There's many more kind of opportunities as well. But really, more than anything, we want youth voices to be heard, to be able to break down any barriers that might be there. And what we're doing at the moment, and as I say, I'm speaking on behalf of Jay, is she's building a list of interested young people who might want to be part of this youth committee. I will dig out the expression of interest form. But I know that she has directly contacted all the schools and colleges in the region. So if you are connected with a school, please have a look out for an email, which may have come via your enterprise coordinator, but from Jay around that expression of interest. But I'll see if I can find a direct link. And it would be Jay, whose email address I've put on here for you, if you've got any further questions around that. But it is a big piece of work that we are looking to develop. The next thing that I just wanted to alert, particularly again schools and colleges on the call, one of our projects this year is some sector broadcasts, and we've got 3 coming up starting this Friday. Although they're recorded and delivered on Friday morning, they can be accessed at any time on demand after 9:30 on Friday on those Friday dates. So we've got 3 key sectors, and we've got local providers, and that's really important. One's very local. Brooklyn Day Nursery are going to be on this Friday, and they are based in Ashfield, one of the forest nurseries. Around early years, transport and logistics, and hospitality. And there are 30-minute broadcasts with, as I say, local providers, local employers, talking about opportunities, pathways into the sectors, and information for young people around those key sectors. If your school is able to join the call live, there is opportunity to join the live chat as well. So if there's any young people on the call that have specific questions for those providers or about the sectors, they can ask in the live chat. And they'll get an immediate answer or a response along the lines of, we'll let you know and we'll get back to you with more information. But if you were to register for any of these, you would get information about the on-demand recording straight afterwards. So even if you know as a school you're not able to get your young people in front of the camera between 9 and 9:30, if you register, you'll get that link afterwards. And finally, and it's a little bit of a big one, I'm afraid, but I just wanted to alert everybody on the call to the government announcement of potential changes to work experience and the terminology around work experience. So for those schools that have seen the new statutory guidance, the government vision for work experience is around the delivery of 2 weeks worth of work experience, and that worth word is very important. This is not about fundamentally changing what used to be a 1 week placement in year 10, Monday to Friday, into a 2 week placement. This is about ensuring that every young person in a secondary school from year 7 up to year 11 is getting the equivalent of 2 weeks worth of experiences of the workplace. And that looks like a myriad of different options. My very first point to note here, if there's any schools on the call, please do not ditch anything you are already doing, because it will still count and it will still be very, very relevant. But what we've got to do is work with what you already have to ensure that we are preparing young people for the workplace by providing them with, as it says here, multiple and varied employer-led activities and some placements. And that does not, again, necessarily mean a formal Monday to Friday placement. It could be a workplace visit that takes half a day to a full day, for example. Now, this is very, very at its infancy at the moment. The CEC are reacting reasonably quickly on creating a programme, and there is no stipulation for you to change everything you are doing from the 1st of September. This is about having an ongoing conversation with us at the Hub, or your enterprise coordinator. And again, I just repeat, do not throw out anything you are already doing. It will all be relevant. I have got a few extra slides, but I don't want to totally overload you, but just to give you an idea of the types of things that might come through. And equally, if there's any employers on the call, this would be relevant so that you can start preparing your network of employer contacts to see whether there's any areas that you might be able to support the local schools. So in terms of what meaningful is, so we're looking for meaningful experiences of the workplace. This means that it should have a clear purpose, and the CEC are working on a set of learning objectives that would back this up, so that you've got learning objectives and outcomes for young people before any of these events and activities. As it says here, underpinned by the learning outcomes that are appropriate for the needs of the young people that you are working with. It should have extensive two-way interaction. So virtual work experience can absolutely count towards this, as long as there is opportunity for feedback. So some of them are just sit in front of a screen opportunities. They're not so great. But if there's opportunity to either email the employers at the end, or there's a project part of it, then that would count as that interaction. Opportunities to meet a range of different people from the workplace. That's so that young people are obviously being upskilled in all the different opportunities within one organisation, not just the one person who's delivering. Opportunities, and this is quite key, for young people to perform a task that's set by the employer, and that should really mimic what goes on in the workplace, so that young people are getting that full experience of what it would be like if they were working in that particular role or that particular sector. It should also include employer providing that feedback. That's about that interactivity that I spoke about, and be followed by time for the young people to reflect. And again, going back to that kind of traditional work experience, previously, and I'm talking historically, some schools tagged on work experience to the last week of July, the last week of the summer term, sent all their young people out on work experience, which freed up some teacher time. But what wasn't able to happen afterwards because they went straight into a summer holiday is that reflection piece, and that can be really powerful and really valuable to young people. So this is what the kind of CEC model looks like, and they're calling it EqualX so that it's an equal opportunity for all to get those experiences. And it starts at kind of year 7 level. Introducing and inspiring, and that means that you are, as employers, they will be able to deliver to a lot of young people, but not with too much information. And then they go into exploring and investigating. There's lots more detail in behind this, and as schools we will continue to kind of give you lots of information as we go through. This is a high level oversight at the moment. So you go from introduce and inspire, then you're investigating and exploring. And then when you are year 10, year 11, you're able to apply and demonstrate the skills and knowledge that you've learnt along that journey within, ideally, a workplace. And this is just a kind of extended model. Around the edge here are some of the kind of learning outcomes that would be attached to that kind of modern work experience piece. I think that's me. Oh no, I did put one more slide in. It's a little bit meaty, but it gives you a little bit of an example. So this is Sam. He's just left year 11. And should he have been through this whole modern work experience piece, this is what his 2 weeks worth could look like. And I have included it really for the schools on the call here. But as you can see immediately, if you look at some of these, so an English trip to the BBC, that might be a trip organised by a different department, not as a careers trip, but you can develop it into a careers trip by ensuring that you've got those learning outcomes attached to it, for example. And this is exactly what I mean about not throwing anything out and starting all over again. That year 10 piece about, you know, the traditional work experiences might still stand, but it might be a shortened version. But then Sam's had the opportunity to go to a different workplace in year 11 as well to back up his own, desires for what he wants to go into when he leaves school. And then also you've got other kind of curriculum trips that can be, I'm not going to say manipulated, that's the wrong word, turned into a kind of work experience for that young person. Bit meaty, but just wanted to, as I say, kind of give you a high level overview. And as I say, for any employers on the call that might be able to tie in with any of this, with any of the local schools, I'm more than happy to have a longer chat. Do think that's me now. That is me now. Happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Helen. Have you got any questions for Helen? Laura.
Hello. So, yeah, it says, doesn't it, there that I work for the youth service. We have a participation team in which we have various tiers, so youth club committees, members of the youth parliament, pioneers, which are young people with additional needs. They work the same as the members of youth parliament. We have the young people's board, and I don't know if it's something that I could we could join up with Jai on that.
With Jay,
Yeah.
I think probably your best next action would be to email Jay. Let me pop her email straight into chat so that you're not waiting for the PowerPoint for it. She will be able to give you lots more information than I could about what she's trying to achieve and where you might be able to connect.
Yeah, and I'll connect her with the team. That's brilliant. Thank you.
No worries.
There was another hand raised. I think maybe it's gone back down. Was there another question?
Yeah, sorry, that was me that put it up. I didn't realise it had gone back down. I'm just thinking from an inclusion point of view in what you're talking about, and I'm hoping we get copies of the slides. I have a bugbear where we can't get industries or companies to come into schools to talk about career pathways in that. And twice a year, the Integrated Children's Disability Service in Nottinghamshire run an event called Preparing for Adulthood. And I just wondered whether, and I've been going there for a few years because I've sort of entertaining the children through physical activity and sport. But I've noticed that a lot of people that there are from colleges, but there's no businesses. And we keep talking about getting children from SEN or SEND, into employment, because academically they might not have the cognitive ability to go up the academic route, but actually getting work. And I'm just wondering why we don't get companies coming into our careers fairs. And I've raised this with Laura at Sutton Community Academy as well. But I've also raised it elsewhere. And it just frustrates me that we've got all this cohort of children that want to go into work, but don't get that opportunity. And thinking about these two events that happen annually, that's an outlet as well. And I just wondered how we can work together to make that happen.
Yeah, I mean, we have a reasonable employer database. I'm not going to lie, it's not extensive, but the employers that we already work with, so there may definitely be some connects that we can make in terms of we do work with all the SEND schools across the region as well, and we've got 2 in the team that are SEND specialists, so they may be best aligned to connect you with employers who are already on that inclusivity journey. We did just have an employer conference last week, and one of the key themes was inclusivity and trying to ensure that we get all young people into the workplace. But absolutely, if you want to drop me an email, Peter, we can have a conversation about how that might work. Can you just repeat the name of the event that you mentioned? The integrated.
It's the Integrated Children's Disability Service, which is Notts County Council, and twice a year they run events, and it's called Preparing for Adulthood. And the ones I've been going over the last few years, unfortunately, I couldn't get to the one in February. It's always been colleges there, and I think that Portland College is a fantastic place. They've got a fantastic work based theory and getting people upskilled, but there's a lot of young people falling through the cracks. And I think if we don't have businesses at these events, as well as career events as well that are run by our academies, then there are children going to miss out on getting a career, and whether that's an apprenticeship or whatever. It's about looking at what's there and then offering that, and that links well with children doing work experience as well.
Yeah. Okay, let's connect, see what we can do.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
I've done it now. Anybody got any more questions for Helen? Helen, the 2 weeks work experience panics me slightly as a leader on careers. You're nodding your head.
Panic. Do not panic. Absolutely do not panic. There's nothing coming into place next academic year. It will be an ongoing conversation with the team here at the Hub to work with you with what you've got and what's already in place in your school, and we will go through it together. Please do not go into panic mode right now.
I think your final slide really helps, and that will help me try and put it forward to my SLT and my team, that it's not about doing 2 weeks work experience, because that's it's about having access right from year 7 to employers to almost like building up to that 2 week work experience.
Absolutely. Yeah, it will be no, you do not need to implement everything, as I say, from September the 1st. It will be an ongoing conversation in slowly introducing new things into your programme. There are going to be many more training opportunities, many more, much more information coming through. They are running a pilot of this in the Liverpool area, which is just drawing to a close, and there'll be lots of learning from that as well, which will start to be fed through to schools. So it was, as I say, it's a kind of high level overview in terms of what's to come, but absolutely do not panic.
I think I think one of the things I want to do is with the tracking software like Compass Plus and Unifrog is look at where we are now, because actually we might be in a better situation than we think already, because
I think you will be.
And we've got year 7s already doing something, year 8, but every student's got a different journey. That's the thing with it. Every student's got a different journey, so making sure we capture all of it, and every student has that 2 weeks. So it's going to be a big job. Employers will help us. I'm not sure, especially in the Ashfield area. It's always good. But yeah, thank you for that. Really good.
No worries.
Is Vanessa here? I've not seen her in the chat. I've not seen her here. Have we had any apologies, Melanie?
Not from Vanessa. I've had apologies from Corinne Walkley, Lucy Elliott, Kate Mawson, Tom Norton, Deborah Foster, Elizabeth Bates, A. Heathcote, Sophie McKenna, and Laura Bates. They're the ones that we've had.
So Lucy Elliott sent an apology.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to have Vanessa, who's going to talk to us about the Captivate programme. So we will move on to section 3 of the agenda, which is Ashfield community engagement. So 3.1 is a better life, ABL, and we've got Michael and Joanna who are going to talk to us about this. Thank you.
We've just got Laura who's raised her hand, Ross.
Oh, Laura.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I can pick up Lucy's bit if she's given her apologies now. That's fine.
Yes, thank you. Is that right?
All right. Yeah, no, that's fine. If that's fine with you. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Perfect. If that's okay with you, Michael, would you like me to present?
Yes,
Okay.
by all means.
Super. I've got a little presentation to show. It's quite brief, but do please feel free at the end kind of to ask any questions as well, or email me at the end. I'll pop my email in the chat box as well if there is anything that I show you over the next few slides that might interest you. But as the family weight management lead at Your Health Not, so we're part of ABL Health. We're kind of commissioned by the council to provide weight management support for any child kind of under 18 and any child kind of above the 91st BMI percentile. We have just slightly changed that, and I'll go over that briefly in the next few slides. But overall, hopefully everyone can see my slides. We cover quite a few kind of broad different group types that we have run and one-to-one sessions. We have since expanded this year. We've been commissioned to run new groups, so I'll go over that as well. But overall, we run virtual groups, telephone support appointments. Those are all for children who are above the 91st BMI percentile. And then we do the Fab School Roadshow, so we go into schools, and that's not got a specific BMI criteria. And we run an Active Explorers and a Food Explorers, so none of those three apply specifically for BMI. They're not related to weight management. So our kind of main offer that we provide for weight management specifically is weekly kind of group discussions. So we cover different topics and we try and set goals each week. So, they will all be either to do with nutrition or physical activity to try and encourage them to be in charge of their own goals and, as part of their weight loss journey. But we try and discuss weight management without necessarily talking about specifically their weight, but talking more about healthy lifestyle changes. And children are really excited when they're on that program. They don't really realize that it's specifically to do with their weight, but just about living better. And then with the one-to-one telephone support, we typically do this with the parents. So we allow the parents to speak to us and tell them what kind of their greatest concerns are, and we can help support them and their child to live better lives. So we were hoping maybe by going to this, this chat, is if we were able to provide some sort of information to teachers or just for your kind of everyone to know in the schools that this kind of support is out there and it's completely free. So if there were ever any concerns or parents did come to teachers or had those conversations with anyone, that this offer is out there and it's completely free to get. So at the end, I'll discuss a little bit about how to refer on if needed, and I could also provide you with these slides. So then we also have an Active Explorers Club that's happening in Ashfield in the summer. We're only running this in Ashfield, really. We're going to have one specifically, one just for general, for any child to attend, whether they're over the BMI 91st percentile or not. And I was thinking maybe this might work for anyone who's in year 7, as it's up to 12. But we'll also be running a SEND specific one. We're aiming to do this so over the summer holidays, and it'll be 1 hour a week over the summer holidays. So we're trying to reach those families and children where they may not necessarily struggle with weight, but struggle with confidence. We don't want super confident and competitive children on the group. We want it to be an opportunity and a safe space for children who kind of struggle maybe at school to partake in physical activity clubs or just PE in general. So I don't know whether this could be maybe discussed with parents or sent out to parents for them to sign up to in the summer. Maybe for those where you recognise that may struggle with that confidence in physical activity. We'll also be covering nutrition in there, and there'll be healthy snacks every week as well. Super. And then this is probably less relevant for this, but just in case, I thought I'd mention that we run a kind of selective eating, fussy eating course for 2 to 4 year olds if you were ever to come across that. And we run all of these programs kind of across Nottinghamshire, but the Active Explorers is more particularly in Ashfield. Then we also ran a Fab School Roadshow. So we kind of focus on junior schools, and we have done for a long time, but we are really welcome to accepting senior schools as well, particularly in Ashfield. If you wanted us maybe in year 7 to come in and deliver a free 6-week course, we do an hour a week with a class, and we can cover lots of different topics. There is a set curricula, but if there was something that you wanted us to discuss, anything to do with health and well-being, we're able to do that. And we found it really, really successful, and all the children typically really engage well with it. And I guess this could then go hand in hand with offering maybe like a telephone appointment or virtual appointment once families know a little bit more about us. On top of this, if you didn't want us kind of to enter the class, and run that full 1 to 1 hour session, we're able to provide a free lunch club, and we can cater this specifically to what your school may want us to run. So it could be a half an hour lunch club, and we try again cater this to children who don't already attend clubs or may not be doing or engaging in PE, just so that at least they're getting support with nutrition. And then we've got the referral strategy. So we kind of refer through something called a single point of access. So if you did have any concerns, or any of the teachers in your schools had any concerns, they can refer to the single point of access. So this then delegates kind of where your child will go. So there's no need to weigh your child. You don't need to have that conversation necessarily about weight. If a parent is concerned about health and well-being and would like some support, you can refer this child to the single point of access, or you can ask the parent to sign refer themselves, and that referral will then kind of be allocated into which provision across the county they belong to. So there's lots of different types. There's 2 different main types for weight management. It's us and Choose to Change. But overall, any child kind of over the 91st BMI percentile is welcome to join our main provision. And similarly, you're able to email us or call us up if you have any concerns, or if you're interested at all, or you've heard of anything that may need some extra support with. But yeah, and I think, Michael, you wanted to talk a little bit about our training that we do, or?
Yes, but before we do, should we just go back to the single point of access? Yeah, the slide before, sorry.
This one?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
So not only does ABL Your Health Knots deliver the Tier 2 county provision, so that's everything that Joanna's gone through, we also look after all healthy weight conversations, either direct from the local authority, educational professionals, primary care and secondary care. And our triage is designed to support individuals that may have complex needs, that may have multiple health barriers, and we refer to other organisations such as the Q Clinic at Nottingham University Hospitals, a Tier 2 plus provision, which is slightly more specialist care and support, and the Tier 2 provisions, which Joanna's just mentioned, which is the sorry, my Teams is pinging me crazy. Which is all the provision above with that one-to-one support that would work. I think before I move on to the conversation, should we just briefly talk about the benefits from a nutritional point of view for healthy eating and increased physical activity when it comes to a educational level? That everyone can stop me if it's a suck egg situation, but it was news to me before I joined, and you explain it perfectly, Joanna, if that's okay.
Right. Right. Well, I guess the whole thing with it, I've gone into many schools. I don't know if this is exactly what you're trying to cover, but I've gone into schools and I've had concerns from teachers, and there's that kind of tricky conversation. I think they've highlighted that there is a child who's struggling with their weight, but maybe they don't necessarily know how to bring that conversation to parents. So I think we've kind of provided these provisions, particularly the lunch club and the Fab School Roadshow, so that it enables us to highlight that we're offering something free, and it's not specifically to do with weight management, highlighting all the importance of changing your lifestyle, having your own personal nutritionist and physical activity specialists, and in a way that it doesn't seem as confrontational almost. It can be quite a struggle for someone to discuss that with parents. So if you're offering a free school roadshow, parents then become slightly more engaged, and we're able to kind of send them a referral form, and at the bottom of that referral form for this school roadshow or a school lunch club, it says, are you interested in providing, getting a free nutritionist or a free physical activity specialist, rather than, putting the pressure on your members of staff at schools, having to ask or have that difficult conversation. And then
Definitely.
also, yeah.
Oh, sorry, yeah. So our provision is designed to reduce health inequalities within the area, and it can be a very difficult conversation to have with a child or young person or their parents, and our nutritionists or physical activity specialists are perfectly designed to support that. The reason why we developed the Fab School Roadshow is so we can have those kind of challenging conversations in a supportive, constructive way, and we can include parents within those discussions, so we can support people in having better eating options and increase their physical activity to reduce health inequalities. However, we are fully aware that we cannot be anywhere everywhere. So what we do offer is a very short, brief intervention training, which we deliver on Teams, but at request we can deliver it face to face, where we provide coaching and support on how to have these challenging conversations with professionals in under various aspects. So it could be talking about family weight, it could be alcohol, it could be smoking, or just a general kind of make every contact count. So as you can see on there, there's the various times and dates of where we offer that with our professionals within Your Health Knots, and this slide or flyer will be out with this presentation, and you're more than happy to refer on that either via the website link or the QR code or the phone number that was on the screen beforehand. So please feel free to distribute any of these offers or support for anyone that you might feel be eligible.
Definitely. And although that training here is about an hour and a half, we can come into the school and deliver these things as well for probably about 15-20 minutes. We can condense it with the most important kind of aspects of the training, just to be able to support the teachers to refer or to have those conversations if a parent ever is concerned as well. Super. I think that's all.
What you probably can't quite see there that was on the picture is we also have a smoothie bike as well.
Oh,
so
yeah.
there's very much a crowd pleaser. It has the physical activity, and you can make some delicious smoothies from fruit that you've blended by getting your pedal on. So we can bring those as well.
Anybody got any questions? Anybody got any questions? I'm sure I've seen the smoothie bike somewhere. I don't know where I've seen it. I don't like smoothies, but I do like riding the bike. So I'll ride a bike and someone else can drink the smoothies. Can you share the summer school thing? The summer school thing from a couple of slides back. Is it possible to share that as a PDF? Because I'm just thinking about, I don't know whether anyone else is thinking this. I'm thinking about year 6 families that are coming up. We want them to be engaging with something locally. Want them spending the summers doing something healthy. We do get asked what is it to do around here? What can we do? So I'll happily share that with all our, all our parents. If we can get that as like a PDF, that'll be fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Minutes, notes, and I like the idea the coming in and doing the healthy eating things, and then somewhere to refer I'll be obviously talking to my DSL about this. I don't know how we do it. We don't know who in my school we decide who's going to refer someone for sort of support with weight and exercise. I'm not sure where that would fit. Whether it won't fit in the careers bit, but it might fit with our DSL team, because obviously it might fit better with there. So I'll be sharing that information with them, I think. But thank you for that. Really, really useful stuff. Really useful stuff. Anybody got any questions? Okay, thank you. So I believe we're on to the second part of section 3, which is vaccination, immunisation, health screening services. And I believe, still here, Laura said she would happily fill in for Lucy. Is that okay?
No, that's fine. It's probably not going to be as in depth as what Lucy was going to say, because I don't actually know what she was going to say, but I know what I'm doing as part of my role alongside Lucy. So I'll just talk a bit about that.
Thank you very much.
So, as I said before, I work for the youth service, and a part of my role is I commission things that I think will complement what we do as a youth service. So a lot of them tend to be health-based projects, and this one we've been commissioned. Oh, I can hear somebody else talking. Can we can we mute if we're not, just for a sec? Thank you. I got distracted then. I'm not very good. It's late in the day, isn't it? So part of some of the work that I've been doing, we've been commissioned as a service to support with vaccine uptake. So in Ashfield, in some of our Ashfield schools, the uptake is quite poor. Things have been trialled before to try and increase that uptake, but part of my role now is I've been going into some schools, not just in Ashfield, across the county. I've picked the top 10 schools where we feel like they're not worst performing, but where the uptake is poorest, and I've been trying to target those schools and going into those schools. So we've been doing a number of different things. We've been doing assemblies. We can do parents' evenings. I've done a couple of parents' evenings. So I've targeted your year 8 parents' evenings, because that is when they have their HPV vaccine, and I've been targeting year 9 parents' evenings because that is the year where they'll have their meningitis, and I can never remember the other bit to that. There's another vaccine as well, and they can have
Teenage
their MMR.
booster.
There we are, Lucy.
Sorry.
She's back, look, so she can fill in. I haven't done very much, Lucy.
Thank you, Laura.
I don't know where you came into.
Literally just now.
Just
now.
So okay. I've not gone very far. I was just explaining what I've been doing.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to take over for your bit?
I can do, yeah. Thank you, and apologies everyone. I don't work Mondays, so I've just nipped on the call. So my name's Lucy Elliott. I work in public health, and as Laura was explaining, the youth service have been supporting us to try and help schools raise their vaccination rates. So in public health, we receive the data, and we have been quite concerned at the vaccination rates. Like most vaccinations have been dropping off. Some schools in Nottinghamshire, there's only sort of 40% uptake, which is really concerning. So I do have your individual school uptake rates if you're not sure of those. So I am able to share those with you. Sorry about that. My daughter's in the background singing. Yeah, so we are concerned about those rates, and this is why we're offering some support. So if you feel that there are any particular issues in your school with the vaccination, so it's run by an organisation called IntraHealth. They're commissioned to deliver vaccinations in schools. So if there are any concerns, then I can discuss those with you. And any ways that you think things could be improved. As Laura explained, she and her team can go in to do assemblies or parents' evenings. I've also got, if that's not possible, then I've also got a PowerPoint presentation. So it's just a ready-made presentation that could be done as part of your PHSE, or I know in some schools the tutors, as part of the particular sort of form group, they've done those presentations and given them to the year 8s and 9s, and there's some videos that are really good. And I think particularly for the year 8s who haven't been through it before, I know there are a lot of anxieties, concerns about needles and the whole process, and I think those videos would be really good to show. And then I guess the final thing is we're currently offering some training. So it's RSPH, Royal Society for Public Health, training on increasing or encouraging vaccination uptake. So if there are any members of your school who are particularly keen and want to know a bit more about vaccinations and how we can encourage others to take those up, then there's some free training. So yeah, if you wanted to do that, then you can just get in touch with me. I think, well, I can put my email address in the chat. And similarly for Laura, if you're interested in doing any of the assemblies or parents' evenings, then if you get in touch with Laura, then she can link in with you and arrange that. And so this offer should be available. So we've got a bit of extra funding to do it. So it should be available until the end of the financial year, so sort of end of March time. So yeah, I think that's everything. Did you want to add anything, Laura?
No, I think you've covered it all.
Thank you, Lucy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Laura. Pretty shocked at the 40% uptake. I didn't realise that was that. I'd even twigged it was that. So that's shocked me a little bit.
Yeah. That's certain schools. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the timings. You know, I do feel when we have vaccinations and when we have immunisation at our school, I don't know whether any of the staff, it almost sort of hits us. There's no lead into it. Sort of turn up and do it. And I think the idea of coming and doing an assembly and giving the students all the same message about vaccination and immunisation, and maybe put it into our PSHE program as well. I think that's all good. That's only going to raise the number of parents and students taking it up. So anything you can share with the group, either via email or share by the minutes, would be really, really good. So thank you for that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
Any questions to Lucy or Laura? Thank you, Libby.
Just to say that a lot of the family hubs across Nottinghamshire have been holding immunisation clinics through holidays as well, to help do, you know, with the mop up of some of the for the schools and things. So we had a full house back in April during the holidays for Kirkby and Ashfield. So it was really well received.
Yeah, we've been advertising those mop-up sessions, haven't we?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, that is. And I don't know how consistently IntraHealth sort of promote those with the schools, but I know in local authority we've been doing that. So, but we can, you know, if we've got your contact detail, we can ensure that those dates are shared with schools, because, you know, if young people miss out on the vaccinations, then it's important that they're caught up. And they also, their base is in, which actually it probably would be a bit far to go from Ashfield. I was going to say their base is in East Bridgeford, sort of not far from Newark, and you can go there at any point during the term. So you don't have to wait for the holidays, but you can go there and make an appointment to get vaccinated as well. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for that reminder, Libby.
Thank you. Matt, have you got a question?
Yeah, just trying to find the mouse on the screen then. Just quickly, in terms of the data that you just mentioned, I'm guessing that you don't want to, that you're not in a position to just share everyone's data to us all.
Yeah.
So if I could have the data just for the schools in our trust, I mean, I'm not sure whether everyone's happy to share it all, but I would imagine it's probably got to be kept more secret, hasn't it? And then the other thing I would like, if possible, is I think you've just mentioned there what you should do to catch up with vaccinations. If we had a simple guide on what to send out for that as well, that would be really helpful as well. Is that possible?
Yeah, of course. We've got there's a web page on. I don't have it to hand, but I'll put. Can you all access the chat afterwards? Because I can put the link in the chat to the web page. Basically, that explains sort of about the vaccinations and what to do if you miss it. Another thing that we're currently doing is I was having a quick look on different schools' websites, and some have got some information on vaccinations. Others, it's mainly about COVID. It's all a bit hit and miss. So what I'm currently doing is basically just developing what you need to have so that it's consistent across Nottinghamshire, it's correct, and that you don't have to do any work. You can basically just take this and put it on a the relevant section on your website. So again, that's something that I can circulate, and then everyone's getting the same message, and you don't really have to do much work for it. So yeah, I can do that as well. So Matt, the schools then, which are what are the schools that you cover, please?
We've got Eastleigh Academy, Holgate Academy, Queen Elizabeth Academy, Retford Oaks Academy, Tuxford Academy. That's 5, isn't it?
Yeah, and
primaries. Do you need primaries as well?
Yeah, so it would just be flu for primaries. Just on that, I do know some
probably
of
the secondaries were issues, isn't it?
Yeah. And I do recognise, and Laura recognise the names of some of those schools, because what we've been doing is trying to tackle sort of the 10 lowest, and I do know that I think it's probably 3 or 4 are in the bottom 10 schools in terms of low uptake. So yeah,
right, I'll definitely try and help you out with that.
Thank you.
I do think, let me just check, because I forget where I've been and where I've not been. Let me just have a look.
Yeah, we have been in touch with a few of those, haven't we?
We have, haven't we?
Haven't we? Yeah.
To be honest, it's good to compare against other schools, but in this world of GDPR, you're probably worried that you're going to give us information other people won't approve of. So, meanwhile, there's all sorts of other things that are shared openly, aren't there? But there we go. Okay, thanks.
Yeah. We can let you know the highest school. Not the name, but we can let you know what the percentage is for the highest, so you can see.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
I think the percentage gives you a percentage of uptake is a real. I mean, you've basically said that 40% is one of the lowest. So in the area, I think if that's like a baseline figure, I think it's very difficult to compare schools with something like this. It's quite, like Matt says, very GDPR. I think you've got to be careful what we share, haven't we? But thank you. So if anyone, obviously, Lucy, I'm going to email you and find out what our figures are. I'd be interested in speak to the people who are in charge of vaccination to see if we can get some support on that. But really useful. Thank you. Any more questions for Lucy or Laura? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for letting us come along.
No, thanks for coming. We are pretty much on a little bit ahead of time for any other business. So has anybody got any other business? I did see something on email, but I can't remember what it was and where that person's here. So any other business that anyone wants to raise before we close the meeting today? Melanie, thank you.
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to raise that as Ashfield Council, we've got a citizens panel, and it's a great opportunity for residents aged 16 plus to get involved and engage with the council and have their say about the different things that are going off in the council. So the panel provides a voice and allows opinions to be heard, on different matters, as I've said. So, we really would like to engage with young people 16 plus to get their voice. We get a lot of older people, so we're all about trying to make Ashfield a better place for the future. The commitment is up to the person, and there's different levels of engagement, and the panel does all different sorts of things like surveys to focus groups, and it's a great thing for young people to get on their CV as well, to show that they've been involved in that. So I'll drop something in the chat just to let you know, to find out a bit more, but there is information on the citizens panel on our website.
Thank you, Melanie. And Laura, have you got some other business as well?
Yeah, thank you. I just want to talk a little bit about what the other things that we offer as a service. So at the beginning, I mentioned that I was doing some work around vaping as well. So I don't know if there's anybody that might be interested in a bit of vaping support. So I've got a small team that we're able to go into schools and deliver stop vaping support to young people. So whether that's again through assemblies, small group sessions, or we're also offering one-to-ones. So that is something we're offering currently. I've got a little bit of funding to be able to deliver that from Public Health. And also, just to talk a little bit about the C-card scheme, let me see if I can get it up. Ashfield is currently having a little bit of a spike regarding STIs in young people. We've also had a little bit of a spike with teen pregnancy as well. So let me see if I can share the website because it's got all the information on there. See if I can get it up. Just let me know when you can see, if you can see it.
I can see it.
It's up now, is it?
I can see it. What I have not seen as a teacher is a student have a C card for a while. It used to be
Have you not?
No, it used to be something that students used to brandish.
Yeah, they did. And we have noticed that the uptake in our younger young people has sort of petered off a little bit. Still, our older young people are still accessing the scheme, whether that's because young people are waiting now or whether, I'm not sure, but there's definitely been a spike. So we need to really push it in Ashfield, really. So yeah, so this is our website. There's all sorts on there. There's quizzes, there's information. There is a, I need to move that, keep it raised. I can't see it because my hand, it's telling me my hand's raised and it won't go away, so I can't click on the right bit. We have various sections. So we've got a section for professionals that will give you some information as a professional, which I can't click on because I've got a little notification box that won't go away. And there's also a section for parents and carers. So yeah, there's all sorts on there. If you'd like to inquire about being a C-card site, so we do train various sites across the county and there's so many of them. To become C-card sites, you can do that. Just click on the contact page and you'll be able to get some information about that. You can also sign young people if they have a C-card or if they'd like a C-card, you can signpost them in this Find Me section, and all they need to do is put their postcode in, and there's different distances. So there's like sites within 1 mile, 3 miles and 5 miles, and then it'll bring all the sites up that a young person can register or pick up. So there's things like that. We also offer a virtual sign-up scheme, so we do it over Microsoft Teams for young people that might not be able to get to a site, and we do a postal service now, which we've started both of those during COVID. So if a young person's already registered on the scheme, they can have condoms, dams and lubricant posted out to them. So there's all sorts on there. Have a look. And if you'd like to become a site or if you'd like more information, please get in touch and we'll do our best to support.
Does that mean someone in your school will be trained up to?
Yeah, so you could have somebody trained to deliver C-card, whether it be a teacher or a pastoral. Yeah. But
we used to have a school nurse that was coming in.
Yeah, and
I can't remember the last time I saw her. I think she does come on site, but it's very varied, and
yeah,
she used to know when the school nurse was in. But
no, and school nurses did used to deliver it, but then things changed, didn't it? So yeah, but yeah, Ashfield is definitely. We've had quite a large spike, especially in Underwood and Jacksdale, funnily enough, at the minute. So they've had a bit of
have a responsibility there to react to local and national issues. As teachers, so I think we can do something about that. Thank you very much. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
We've got another couple of hands up. Is it Magella Robson?
That's right. Yeah, thank you. Hello, my name is Magella. I'm a teacher here at Fountaindale School. If you don't know who we are, we're the special school just across the road from Portland College. And I'm just here to ask if anybody would like to help us out with an enterprise challenge that we're hosting at the end of this month, the 27th of June. So I'm challenging all the classes to create something with a £10 budget, and it's to do with summer. So some people are going to make some personalised sun hats and sunglasses, things like that. But we would like to invite some people in to judge it. So I've already got Julia Matthews, our enterprise advisor, and she's managed to get a couple people from an engineering company and from Barclays. So I just thought this might be an opportunity for anybody that's working in this network here to come in and see what we're around, and you get free dinner and you get to meet our amazing kids and you get to see what we're all about and see how we can work together in the future, really. So I'll put my email address on the chat, and please get in touch if you can help. And just to also say, we had the Healthy Fab Roadshow in with us. And I'm sure you were there, weren't you, Joanna? Was that you? Yeah. And that was really good. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Magella. Magella, are you looking for businesses to come into that? Businesses. Okay. Yeah,
pretty much.
If anyone's here can reach out to any businesses that want to support with enterprise, that would be fantastic.
Great.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. And Peter.
Yeah, you keep calling me Peter. I think I'm in trouble. I'm going to have to get my name changed to Pete.
It says Peter under your name. Yeah.
I know, it's fine. It's fine. Just two quick things, really. One, just to mention to Lucy and Laura, I'm the chair for the Health and Wellbeing Network in Ashfield, and I'm thinking about what you're talking about, vaccination and all that, whether we can support you from that. I'm not sure whether anybody from your organisation sits with us. We have got lots of partners and we're always looking for new ones, and whether that might, and we're also in the process of starting to develop a 10-year strategy, which will be a 1 year, what's achievable, 3 years, and then 10 years. And we've got a big network meeting on the 19th of June happening. But I'm interested in these vaccinations and that, because I'm keen that all our children should be vaccinated as well. So yeah, I wrote down your email address, Lucy, so you might get an email.
Yeah, no, please do. I'll find out if any colleagues sit. There will probably be public health. If any colleagues do sit on that, but if not,
I don't know if Matt does. But
Matt,
Matt won't
he's
now,
leaving
will he?
as well. Yeah.
So he won't now,
leaving.
will he? But
yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd be happy to come and talk about vaccinations, separately.
But it's more about how we can support you in what you're doing through our networks.
Yeah. No, that would be great. And a colleague of mine, because I'm part of the health protection team, so vaccinations is part of that, but also screening programs, so trying to encourage uptake of obviously the different cancer and other screening programs that we offer, but also wider stuff around communicable diseases. And one of my colleagues has started up an advocates program. So basically, you might be an employer or you might work for a public organisation, and if you've got a regular newsletter, basically she just sends out information to then share through network. So it might be a good thing to send you information on that if people are interested in signing up.
Yeah, I'll drop you an email.
Thank you very much.
And my second one is, as I said at the beginning, I sit on Discover Ashfield board as a theme lead. And one of my things I've been talking about a long while is that we have FE and HE representation on that board, but we don't have a secondary or a primary representation. So I just wondered if somebody from here, from the school section, can represent the secondary schools on Discover Ashfield board. And if so, you can email me and then I make that introduction to the chair and then get you invited to the board meetings. We meet 8 times a year, and when I talk about the board, it's health, education, we have businesses on there, NTU sit on there, ATTFE sit on there, local councillors, county councillors, an array of other people. So there's quite a lot of people sitting on that. And I'm keen to get secondary and primary representation on that, because we're doing a lot of work, but we're not hearing from certain parts. Because the other thing that's missing is also GP practices, which is something I'm working on as well. So just annoying people, really.
No, Peter, sorry, Pete, that's really good. I mean, it's something we as we're all really busy people, and schools are
I understand that.
At the moment. We try and do everything we can to support Ashfield, and one of the joys of this meeting is the things that people bring up, and the sort of things I've got notes, absolutely tons of notes here, and I'll disseminate all this information out to the relevant people within my wider team that can act on a lot of this stuff. So this is what these meetings are about, and so thanks for sharing that as well, Pete. That's fantastic.
Just to think that there's a lot of funding been put into Ashfield, and there's more coming. So we've just started with the Kirkby Neighbourhood Board, and we're now looking at planning. We had a first meeting the other day. We've got another one next week, and there's £20 million going to be spent in Kirkby, on top of the town's funding, the level up funding that we've had. So it's interesting that we want all people to be part of that discussion, so that nobody feels left out. And I think education is a big part of that as well.
I would agree. I would totally agree.
Yeah.
Thank you. Pete.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Libby. No, thank you. Libby.
Yeah, just to stay on that vein, Pete, I've been annoying the Healthy Family team to get them to come to the meeting as well, and the local midwives, because I think that would be important. So hopefully we'll get a representative for the June meeting.
Well, 19th of June, and it's at Summit Centre, and it's a massive meeting. So yeah, everybody's welcome.
What time do those meetings take place, Peter? During the day or an evening?
It's during the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to impact.
It is.
That's the school, primary school, secondary school thing. It's going to be real difficult. Is whether someone can come out of school to do that. With current education as it is.
The 19th date is a Health and Wellbeing Network meeting. Discover Ashfield Board. I can't remember the next date. I think it's sometime July, I think. But that is during the day. It's either a Wednesday or a Friday. And what we're looking at is maybe one person representing the secondary schools, if that makes sense.
Right, secondary schools across Ashfield.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting role for someone there.
Yep. Definitely.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right. Okay. Just before we move on, then, just want to flag up the meetings that we're going to look at next year in 2005, 2006. So we've got September 2005 venue to be concerned. I don't think we've got a date there either. Some reason I've not got a date there on my minutes, so we'll have a look at that. Then we've got 15th of December, which will be on Teams. March 2026, which I haven't got a date for yet, but venue TBC, and then 8th of June on Teams. So the Teams meetings are in place, but the September and March ones aren't in place because obviously with the success of the Sherwood Observatory meeting, everybody meeting together, I think there's a push for people to meet in person. It was really powerful, and I thought it was really good to meet everybody. So we'll look at that. Can I just thank everybody that's come today to support our young people and our employers and the whole of Ashfield. I think this is really important. Can I thank Wayne? I don't know if he's still here for his information about the British Army. Thank Helen for information about the youth committee council, and the information about the new work experience. It's really important. Can I thank you from Michael and Joanna for the information about how to the active explorers and the weight management support that's out there for our young people, the Fab Road Show. Also, Lucy about our immunisation, some staggering figures there, which we can all help and support. And obviously everyone else for coming. So at this point, I'd like to close the meeting. Thank you very much for coming, and hopefully I'll see you all again at our next meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers, Ross. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, bye.